Andy McDowell. Tomorrow, Walter Cronkite, Harry Connick Jr., Tom Snyder is next. Please remember one thing this holiday season: that ain't my truck. Good night, everybody.
I like boating.
Now is the time. Marty Frenich Ford Lincoln Mercury in Watsonville, your Central Coast dealer for 50 years, announces the Wild Weekend Blowout. Check out the 97 Ranger XLT Super Cab, only $166.17 a month. Or the all-new 97 Escort 4-door LX, only $196.64 a month. It's the Wild Weekend Blowout at Marty Frenich, the #1 selling dealership on the Central Coast. The only place to go for cars and trucks, just off Highway 1 in Watsonville. Now is the time.
If you want the style and you got the passion, we got the style and we got the fashion. You buy one, we give you two. Hey, Chris Casella.
It's back. Chris Casella's famous 2-for-1 sale. Beautiful imported men's fashion suits, sport coats, slacks, shirts, ties, everything.
Hey, Chris Casella.
Everything is 2 for 1 right now. And you always get a perfect fit every time at Chris Casella Menswear in Morgan Hill.
Hey, Chris Casella.
Hurry!
Hey, Chris Casella.
CBS.
Welcome home.
I'm done.
Oh, stop. Good evening, folks, and welcome back, everybody. The 9:35 just went through the station here. It's December the 17th, 1996. I'm Tom, and this is the simulcast for December the 17th, 1996. Remember how Johnny used to tease Merv Griffin about the theme shows? You know, tonight Merv has another one of his theme shows. Our theme this week, in case you haven't caught our drift, is electric trains. Bonnie Hunt is here tonight from the Smash motion picture, which is out now, in which she co-stars with Tom Cruise. Michael Blake is here tonight. This is the man who wrote the historically successful picture Dances with Wolves, and now has an amazing biography out on General Custer, who many people think was a bad guy, but Michael has found out he wasn't so bad after all. You know, tonight I took the folks that I work with on the radio side of the Late Late Radio Show, Steve Mason and company, out for a little supper over at the Grill on the Alley in Beverly Hills. And I ordered steak tartare, which basically is raw hamburger with stuff put in. And one of the people said, "How can you eat that?" And I said, "You know, this is another thing I learned from my father." We were talking last night with Mandy Patinkin on how our dads introduced us to toy trains at Christmas time. And as I mentioned last night, I don't talk about my father that much, but I think of all the things that I learned to do in my life from him just by observing. My dad, when I was a kid, did not make a lot of money. I mean, we didn't have a lot of spare cash around. But my father always wanted the best of everything. And he was especially fussy about food. Now, he wasn't finicky about eating, but he was fussy about the quality and freshness of food. I remember as a boy, we never had store-bought bread, you know, like Wonder Bread or Sunbeam bread. We always went to a bake shop and got sliced bread because it had holes. And my dad said, bread has got to have holes because if it's like smooth all over, it's cake. He said, I want bread, I don't want cake. And I know whenever we were having hamburgers, my mother would send me to the IGA. And I was instructed never to buy hamburger meat in the cellophane package. I would always say to the butcher, could I have 1.5 pounds of round? And as he took it out of the case, I would say, now please trim it and grind it. My father was very finicky about, or fussy about having freshly ground meat in the house. So I would bring this home, and he'd be there. He'd unwrap this, and he would take just a skosh of raw ground hamburger and put it on a cracker with a little salt and pepper with his martini, and he would eat it. And when I was about 8 years old, I said, could I have a taste of that? He said, yes, you can. And ever since then, I've loved the taste of raw meat. Not very often, not in big quantities, but just a little something I learned from my pop. Anyway, before we start tonight, how about a joke? You know, we haven't had a joke here for a long time. What do you think, Mr. Chairman? Oh, go, fair, very good.
You are correct.
Thank you. A young executive was working late one evening, and as he came out of his office at about 8 o'clock at night, he saw the big boss standing by the shredder in the hallway with a piece of paper in his hand. And the big boss said to the kid, he says, do you know how to work this thing? My secretary has gone home, and I can't figure it out. And the young fellow said, yes, sir. He turned the machine on and took the paper from the other man and fed it in. And the big boss said, I need just one copy. See, he was at the paper shredder. I left that out. Yeah, whoops. like my agent says, let Johnny do the jokes and you do the news. Bonnie Hunt is here tonight, and Michael Blake is here with the story of General Custer and the battle at Little Bighorn, and of course, you on the toll-free. Settle back, fire up the color teenies, and watch the pictures as they fly through the air. I can't believe I left that line out, man.
Twin-blade razors raise their ugly heads. But now, there's the Norelco Reflex Action Razor. A great shave with less irritation than blades.
Zales, the diamond store, has diamond, ruby, and gold jewelry for just $99. Proof that a gift doesn't have to be expensive to be priceless. Zales, the diamond and holiday gift store.
This precision instrument must search for tenacious deposits that cling perilously close to your fragile gums. A procedure for gingivitis. Fortunately, gingivitis may be avoided. Use Listerine. Gum disease is caused by germs. Listerine kills them. It's the brand, the only brand clinically proven to help prevent gingivitis. All procedures should be as easy as this, the power of prevention. Listerine.
3 tabloid reporters are about to get the story of the century.
Have you ever met an angel?
Yeah, once.
You're kidding.
Yes, I am.
And the shock of a lifetime.
Would you mind if I touched?
Hey.
Hey, you too.
I'm a writer, too.
Oh, really? What did you write?
Psalm 85.
Michael.
I thought angels were cleaner.
I'm not that kind of angel.
Rated PG starts Christmas Day.
American movies are loved all over the world. Each year they bring in billions of dollars, and the market for quality, family-oriented programming is exploding. Serious investors with a minimum of $10,000 call the number on your screen. The possible financial rewards are staggering. Fact, movie making is a $300 billion a year industry and growing every year. Call the number displayed now and discover how you can become part owner of an independently produced picture by a man experts call the best family filmmaker since Walt Disney. Serious investors with a minimum of $10,000 call the number displayed now for your information kit on the family motion picture industry. You'll discover our producers' proven formula for success and how independent producers like George Lucas have made it big, and how investors like you can reap future returns. Call the number on your screen now to get the facts. Call the number on your screen. Call now.
This holiday, they've outdone themselves, and I love it. New holiday selections of the very best in men's clothing. Khakis Men's Clothier of Carmel in the Barnyard. Quality and distinctive looks for men who care about how they look. Khakis with people who really care and understand what I need. Easy, fun, friendly, the best at Khakis Men's Clothier of Carmel in the Barnyard. This holiday season, Khakis.
It is an early Christmas present for comedian Bonnie Hunt and the rest of the stars of the new motion picture Jerry Maguire. It opened to great reviews and even bigger box office numbers over the weekend. After starring in 2 sitcoms of her own, she'd still like another shot at a television series, but for now, Bonnie, you're going to have to settle with being a big-time movie star. Merry Christmas, kid, and welcome back.
Oh, thanks, Tom.
I thought you were hysterical with Dave last week when you were there promoting the picture. And remember, all the people did the spit take, and you came out and spit eggnog all over him. It was great.
Well, generally feel that way when I'm about to do that show.
Tell me about Christmas at the Hunts in Chicago. You and your mom and dad and your brothers and sisters. Fun, huh?
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, I go back every year. We go to Madison, Wisconsin for Christmas Eve to be with the Murphys.
That's where your husband is, right?
Right, my
Mr.
in-laws.
Murphy, yeah.
And that's where I keep him. No, we go and we have midnight mass, Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day we drive to Chicago to be with my family.
And that's what, about a 3.5 hour run?
Yes.
What if it's snowing?
And in the car, it's even longer.
Yeah.
No, we always
You know, if you could have gotten this funny, never mind.
my show would still be on the air. I know, you love to do that to me. Why do you, George? You
love to do anything
You are
with
one
you.
of my family members.
I know.
You know, whenever Christmas comes around, I think about the time I had this date with this guy that I had the world's biggest crush on. He worked in an office downtown, and I used to see him when I was a nurse walking to the hospital. He finally asked me out, and I spent $90 on a red wool dress that had a big black patent leather belt. And I couldn't wait for this night. I dreamed of it every night. I dreamed of looking at him across the table. I dreamed about my red dress, and I come down, and I'm about to leave, and my brother says, "Hey, Santa, where's your elves?" That was it. I was ruined for the whole night. And I go, "Does it look bad?" He goes, "What do you think, Tommy?" And they're like, "Ah, she looks ridiculous." And the three brothers, literally, I took the dress off, and, you know, was in my jeans and T-shirt by the time I left the house, looking like a bum. And the guy didn't like me anyway. I remember I drank beer out of the bottle.
You drive to Chicago, and there your whole family is, your nieces, your nephews, all those people,
the whole gang. And we have a grab bag every year because we have all these nieces and nephews. And when the first kids were born and we were doing Christmas, you know, when I grew up, there's 7 kids, 4 girls, 3 boys, and there was 2 gifts, one for the boys and one for the girls.
Oh, you're
a group
kidding.
gift. Yeah.
Oh, so money was tight, huh?
Well, you know, and my dad was like your dad, you know. He wanted to be the big shot. He was the greatest dad because he could build anything and do anything, and I wouldn't trade that for all the money in the world. And not only that, anything that I did after I left the house was success. You know, just having my own bedroom was just, I've made it. I can't imagine growing up and having everything, and then what do you do? It's like, okay.
Yeah, what is there to strive for?
Right.
What is there to wish for?
Right.
And your own bedroom, when you have 7 in the family, is impossible.
4 girls in one room, 3 boys in the other room. I mean, our beds touched, you know. And my dad built the dorm around the house. He built our beds. I mean, everything. It was just so
So there was one present for the boys.
Right.
Like, what would they get? Like a train set?
Train sets,
Yeah.
big deal. And we had the guy with the lantern, which I heard you talk about last night.
Oh, sure.
Of course, my mother said the theme this week on Tom's show is trains.
That's
They're
right.
probably having you on because you're big caboose. She's worse than you. I mean,
But
she's
you
got to
see,
nail
that's
me.
the oldest joke, and then older than the hills. She was only a railroader's daughter, but you should have seen her caboose.
Oh,
you know?
right. Well, that's Mom for you.
And then one year, didn't you and your sisters get the Barbie
house.
The Barbie house.
Of course, my sister Kathy at that time was like 18. She was like, great group gift, you know, but we wanted to help the youngest daughter to have fun. So we get this Barbie house, and it was like, I just thought it was incredible because it had the swinging Barbie living room with the bar for Barbie and Ken.
Sure, right.
You know, I mean, it's so nice they give us the play bar. So we're already preparing for our alcoholic futures.
Right, exactly.
The Irish Catholic family were like, everybody's in the bar. My relatives were showing up at Barbie's bar. It was frightening. And so it's like 3 months after Christmas, and I'm running down to Barbara Dayton's house, my best friend in the entire universe. And I'm running down the street, and I drop the Barbie house. And I can't even look, Tom, because I'm thinking, I've just dropped the Barbie house.
I've destroyed the Barbie house.
Right. And I looked down, and the other side had opened, which we never knew opened, and Barbie had a swinging bedroom. I couldn't make it back home fast enough. I am running, you know, like Speed Racer, those sound effects. And I get in the house, and my mother's on the phone. I go, hang up the phone. She's like, what happened to you? I go, hang up the phone, sit down. You're not going to believe this. She says, what? I go, Barbie has a bedroom. She goes, I've got to call your father at work. You know, she's doing her one-liners, entertaining herself with her 7 kids. I'm like, call him right away. I'm like 10. I'm thinking my dad's going to leave work early, come home to see Barbie's bedroom, which, you know, yeah, it was a big deal.
So now, with all the nieces and nephews, how many do you have?
15 altogether.
So grab bag is you draw a name out of a hat,
Right,
otherwise you
because,
go nuts. Yeah.
Right, the first couple of years, the nieces and nephews were getting something from all their aunts and uncles. And the kids, like, open a gift, they're like, nice, great, where's the next one?
Yeah, right.
And, you know, my brothers and sisters and I are sitting there going, why aren't they like us? Why aren't they appreciating it? Well, they could care less. They were getting so much stuff. So one of my brothers just said, you know, that's it. Let's just do a grab bag gift for all the kids. And, you know, we always have a theme. Like last year it was books. This year use the person's initials. And the kids, it's just nicer. It's nice.
It is. And by the way, I think if you overload at Christmas time, and my brother and I were indulged by our parents at Christmas. I mean, we each got like 15 or 20 things.
Oh, my.
Oh, it was. Well, see, my dad was in the business. He wholesaled toys, so he got the stuff.
Well, in that case,
you see what I mean?
My dad was an electrician. I mean, how many blue and red wires can I make into bracelets? We did. We used to make jewelry out of the wires.
I know. And so we would always get stuff for the trains or director sets or baseball equipment or football equipment and stuff like that.
What was it? What did you think, though, when you were a kid? Were you Mr. Cool?
Oh, well, we thought everybody had this.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad was so cute. Like the doorbell would ring, you know, and he would say, oh, Tommy, or oh, Johnny, there's somebody at the door.
No.
And we'd open the door, and there was the new train set, or there was the new baseball glove. He was always so cute at making little stuff.
Yeah, my dad took a lot of joy. I mean, one time I remember I wanted to get a... Do you want to go? you have to go to break?
No, no,
oh,
not
I don't
at
know.
all.
Okay. I'm not used to TV. I'm just playing the dumb girl. Maybe I'll get another job. You know, dumber the better.
Stop it.
All right, I'm just kidding.
Your father.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to get a new bike. And on your 12th birthday, you got the bike handed down. And it was, you know, the blue Schwinn with the old handlebars.
Yeah,
and the old
seat worn out, the tires almost bare.
And I just said to my father, you know, I was a brat, and I look back and feel bad. But I said, Dad, I cannot have the bike. I have to have a new bike because I can't be seen on that bike. So my dad says, fine, fine, fine. My birthday comes. My dad brings me down to Swanee's bike shop, which had the...
Swanee's bike shop.
That had Schwinns.
Swanee Schwinns.
That's right. It was right.
Say that 5 times
Swanee
fast.
Schwinns, Swanee Schwinns, Swanee Schwinns, Swanee Schwinns. I was on Addison in Chicago, right down from Wrigley Field, and we go in, and my dad had bought parts. He bought, you know, the handlebars that were like this, that were the new ones, and he bought a seat, and he redid the bike and painted it, and asked Swanee to bring it out from the back with a ribbon on it, as if I were getting a new bike. And I remember he brought the bike out, and there was something on the bike that triggered, I knew it was the same bike.
Yeah, the chain guard was bent or something.
It was one of those things, and my dad had...
Just say, yeah, Tom, you're right, the chain guard.
Yes, Tom, the chain guard was bent.
Not the chain guard, the chain guard.
All right, I'm sorry. I've been dancing with the Rockettes lately for my workout, and I'm just exhausted by the time I get here. Anyway, my dad had used black electrical tape around the handlebars because, you know, you're supposed to have the tape on to make them really cool.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking when the guy brought it out, my dad says, what do you think? You know, it had a big ribbon on it. I so fell in love with my father in that moment that he went through all that trouble. But when it was hot out and I was riding around with that black electrical tape, just black hands completely.
Yeah, yeah.
And my dad for weeks, so did your friends see the bike? What do they think? Dad, they love it. People talking about it? Yeah, Dad. Who said something? You know, he just loved it. It was such a joy, you know.
We're with Bonnie Hunt. Bonnie Dearest is here. She stars along with Tom Cruise and Jerry Maguire. We'll continue with Bonnie and you on the toll-free. If you're on the radio, it's 800-952-2788. Back after these messages. And I'll bet you now...
Sunflower's fragrance from Elizabeth Arden. A celebration of life.
What's more amazing than the places you can go on the internet? The fact that you don't need a computer to get there. Web TV from Philips Magnavox. The internet now on your television at an affordable price.
Trust the critics. My Fellow Americans is a wonderful comedy.
The people will believe us. Why? Because we're presidents. Okay, they won't believe us.
Fabulously funny. Tremendously hilarious.
That felt good.
Lemon and Garner are national treasures.
You're awesome.
Hollywood's star-studded holiday comedy hit.
What are you doing here? Are you coming out?
No, I'm not coming out. He is. My Fellow Americans, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, December 20th at a theater near you.
Larry Hagman returns to CBS in a powerful new dramatic series.
You wouldn't be offering my colleague a bribe now, would you?
In a city filled with secrets, there's one man who has all the answers.
I know, and you know, you're guilty as hell.
Totally unorthodox.
Oh, my.
Highly respected. He controls Orleans.
A family is a very precious and fragile thing, and you destroyed it.
Where things are done a little differently.
And I'm going to take you down.
Orleans, CBS, January 8th.
Thousands of products and salon services, too, available every day at our low Cosmetics for Less prices. Cosmetics for Less, our only Salinas location, now in the Northridge Mall next to Mervyn's.
If you're serious about developing rock-hard abs, well, there's only one choice. It's the Ab Roller Plus. It's the last abdominal product you'll ever have to buy.
Introducing the Ab Roller Plus, the only complete abdominal workout that supports your head and neck for a safe yet super intense abdominal workout.
These people have never used the Ab Roller Plus before today.
When I tried, it was phenomenal. My back didn't hurt, my neck didn't hurt.
I think it's a lot easier than doing sit-ups, easier in the neck and back.
For just 3 easy payments of $29.95, we'll include this free 5 easy moves in 5 minutes workout video. Get maximum results with minimum strain. Call and order the Ab Roller Plus right now.
Make the call today and get the Ab Roller Plus.
Use your credit card and call 1-800-806-1221 to order the Ab Roller in just 3 payments of $29.95 plus $12.95 shipping in U.S. funds, or send check or money order to the address shown. That's 1-800-806-1221. Call now.
Back with Bonnie Hunt, who's in Jerry Maguire. Here's Genevieve on the toll-free in Montreal, Quebec. Hi, Genevieve. Welcome to CBS.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, and happy holidays, young lady.
Thank you, you too.
Thanks.
I want to ask Bonnie if the relationship she had with her mom on their show is the same one that she has in real life.
It's exactly the same. I really don't have an original thought in my head. I mean, anything that I've written or that I've performed through improvisation is based on my own life and what I know. And my mother has been such a character in my life because she loves me so much to a fault. I mean, she calls me every single day. I did Letterman, a few nights ago, and she left a message at the hotel, and the operator laughed when she gave it to me. Your mother called. She said, remember to sit up straight on the David Letterman show. And I said, thank you.
Like most kids think that Santa Claus, is watching before Christmas. You better watch out. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus. Your mom saw it differently, didn't she? She thought that God was watching.
God. Oh, yeah. My mother would always do that because at Christmas I would say, I wanted this watch set. I remember once that had like the different bands, pink and green. And I said, I really want the watch. My mother says, well, if you really need it, God will make sure you get it. It's not just if you want it. So it's out of my hands. So everything was God. And I remember when my grandmother died, my mom said, now you will have somebody who can always watch over you. And Tom, I was a teenager in my dating years. So I'm out with the guy, he's trying to kiss me. I'm like, no, my grandmother's watching. He's like, is she in the back seat? I'm like, no, I'm Catholic. She's dead. They're all watching us. All my uncles and aunts, everybody who's died, they're right now I'm going to get in trouble. They're going to go tell God, wake them up. She's kissing the kid.
And what were your parents like when you announced? Because I met you when you still lived in Chicago, right? Right. So when you made the big announcement, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, I'm going to L.A., how did that go down?
Well, my dad had already passed away.
Okay.
And I think my dad would have had a very hard time with it, although, he would get a kick out of it now. I think.
But what about Mom?
My mother was just mortified. She just, now is that necessary? And I had just gotten married, too.
Oh, you had just married your husband?
Yes. In fact, my sister-in-law's mother pulled me into the kitchen at a family party and said, if you leave town, a man has needs. And if he strays, it's not his fault. And I remember I got in the car with him, and he's like, did you have a fun time? I'm like, you cheating bastard. I mean, she'd put all these thoughts in my head. I was so worried. I mean, the older women in my family, Tom, I thought a guy was going to, meet me and write a song about me and tap dance all the way down the street. Because my mom was like, watch Gene Kelly. That's the kind of guy you want to meet. A gay chorus guy is who I would have ended up with if I followed that.
A man has needs.
Man has needs. It's not going to be his fault if he needs to stray.
Genevieve, thanks for calling.
Oh, Genevieve, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were
still. Thank you.
And
happy holidays to you.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Did you have TV favorites as a kid? Yeah.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I mean, in our house, The Honeymooners was '1, our favorite show of all time.
Same here.
And The Andy Griffith Show, although my dad, the minute the episode had started, Barney's not in this one, turn it off. Was an episode without Barney? You're talking about your dad with the food, the bread.
Yeah.
It was cake. If it didn't, my dad liked to have, if it was a warm meal, everything had to be warm, the same temperature. He'd start eating something, he goes, these corns are a little cooler than the potatoes, Alice. I'm always like, oh, dear, let me just warm up a little bit. Okay, don't worry. Your father works very hard. Don't get upset. Don't upset him. Don't upset him. With 7 kids. There's a big party going on.
Did you wait till your father gets home?
Oh, yeah. Constantly. I mean, the minute that car touched the gravel, my dad made a driveway. We're the only ones in the neighborhood with a driveway because my dad can make anything, and he made the yard a little bit smaller and put in a driveway for the second car, his truck. And the minute that hit the gravel, we were all, sitting quietly waiting for him to come home. But when my mother was alone, she's like, please stop. We're like, party.
Now, when you get back with your family in Chicago a week from tomorrow on Christmas Day, are you the life of the party? Are you the extroverted one in the family? The one who's always talking and like, you're cracking the jokes. You have a great sense of humor. You're very fast. You're very funny. Are you that way with your family?
Oh, no. I mean, they're funny.
Yeah?
was a professional audience for many years until I cashed in on their personalities and came out here. No, my family, they're just the greatest. I mean, my brothers and sisters are truly, this is all of our careers. I just happen to be the messenger.
But are they talkative too? I mean, do they talk a lot?
Are you making fun of me right now?
No, I'm not. I'm asking you about you.
Yes, Tom, they talk all the time. I mean, it's literally, my mother drank so much coffee when she was pregnant with us. She always says, I didn't know you shouldn't drink coffee. I mean, we came out of the womb talking. I mean, the poor doctor, he slapped us to shut us up.
But like the brother who said, hey, Santa Claus, where are the reindeer? Will he be there at Christmas?
Oh, my 3 brothers, they're so funny. They're just like my dad. Yeah. I mean, my dad had a great sense of humor. I remember one time my mother had gained a little weight, and we bought her a jogging suit for Christmas. All the relatives are there. It was pitch black with 2 white stripes going down the legs. And she comes out, tries on, she goes, how do I look? And my dad goes, like a 2-lane highway. I mean, you know, could you drop? I mean, the guy was so quick. And she goes, oh, Bob! You know, nothing ever fazed her. She had those little blue cartoon birds above her head most of the time. Unbelievable.
You know, in all the stuff that I've seen you do on television, the comedy, you don't do mean-spirited stuff. I mean, the show that you did, Bonnie, there was no meanness in that show. I've never seen you do a line that puts somebody down to the point of being hurtful or spiteful. You just don't do that kind of stuff. Is that by design?
I think that maybe somewhere in my heart, and I think I've been criticized for it. I mean, I know when I was, you know, handing my scripts into the network, it needs more of an edge, and I think edge means meanness, maybe not smartness, and I confused it. And I think for me growing up, I always laughed at the kid in the back of the classroom that was kind of making me laugh because he drew a funny picture or something. But when somebody was mean to somebody else, I always felt so bad. And I think I'm really sensitive to that, too, after the torment from my brothers all those years.
Yeah, yeah. So, but, I mean, even Bonnie had no innuendo, no sexual overtones or double entendre. It was a very nice show. It was very entertaining and very pleasant to watch.
Well, thanks, Tom. And I'll tell you, I really owe a lot of that to my time at Second City, certainly to my parents who, you know, brought me up that way. But at Second City, the Bernard Solins, who was still the producer and director when I started there, said, I never want you to play drunk. I never want you to be mean. I don't want you to go with the first thought that comes into your head, which is going to be a sex joke. It is for all of us. Go beyond that when you're improvising. And I was trained that way on stage. And then when I started writing, you know, the obvious things come into your head, and we all laugh about it.
That he said to you, don't go with the sex joke. It's the first thing that comes into your head. It is for all of us. Isn't that the truth, huh?
Yeah, and he said the minute you train your audience
the cheap shot.
Yeah, he said the minute you train your audience to laugh at that, then you have nowhere to go. I mean, they will stop thinking, and it's really true.
Although I will never forget the night that you were here with David Steinberg and Gene Siskel for the first Academy Awards show. Remember when Tom Hanks came to the microphone and we finished, and you said, he's a bobcat in the sack.
He's a bobcat in the sack, yeah. Well, that's...
Where do you get stuff? Where does that come from, huh?
My old neighborhood. Yeah. There's so many phrases like that from my old neighborhood. It just, you know, I think about the guys in the old neighborhood, and it just makes me laugh. You know, I didn't know anything, but I heard all the phrases, and bobcat in the sack was... Yeah, she's a bobcat in a sack. I went out with her last night, 2-3 cups of coffee, and her next thing I know, you know. And I was like, next thing you know, what? She was painting her house? Tom, and my mother, oh, they were probably playing Monopoly. It's a long game. Goes till 2 a.m. I'm like, where was Kathy last night? Oh, she was playing a board game.
Sometime we must bring Mother Hunt in here. Now, there's another actress who shares your name, Helen Hunt. Does anybody ever confuse her to your mother?
Oh, yeah. My mother takes full credit for Helen's career.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think she's actually has more fun with taking credit for Helen than she does for me. She had an old friend from high school that, you know, found her phone number and called and said, Alice, I just wanted to call you. You must be so proud of your daughters. And my mother says, oh, I am. You know, and she says, oh, I just love watching Helen. I'm mad about you. And my mother says, oh, thank you. She doesn't correct her. She's just going to take advantage of the situation. So
we will continue with Bonnie and talk a little bit here about the making of Jerry Maguire. The toll-free is up and running at 800-952-2788. Back after this break.
At the U.S. Patent Office, you can patent most inventions, but you can't patent a fragrance.
You, a strikingly similar fragrance to CK1 by designer imposters.
At Zales, you can find Swiss-made Movado watches starting at $195. A design so classic, you can find them in museums around the world. And at Zales, the Diamond and Holiday Gift Store.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very simple case. It's about a man whose life was snuffed out on June 12, 1963 by a back-shooting coward. The evidence will undeniably show that the person who pulled the trigger and ended the life of Medgar Evers is this defendant, Byron D. LeBecqua.
Ghosts of Mississippi, a Rob Reiner film.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday in select cities.
And the little dragon looked up to the moon with fire burning in his eyes, and he
Why
said...
does he have fire in his eyes?
Because he's a dragon.
How come he's a dragon and not a dinosaur?
Well, because...
How come
When you use your Visa card this holiday season, we'll make a donation to Reading is Fundamental. Together, we'll bring kids a million stories.
Have I answered everybody's question?
Why do we get snacks?
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
As a receptionist, I try to help our patients feel comfortable, like Kate. The first time she came here, she had a cavity. To protect against this, our dentist recommends Crest. Crest can actually help reverse the early stage of tooth decay, like this weak spot. Because the fluoride in Crest's patented formula penetrates the weak spot and can actually help stop a cavity from forming. And more dentists have their very own kids brushed with Crest than all others combined.
Hey, Mom, no cavities.
The dentist's choice is Crest Protection.
You rely on them to get the story. Get it first and get it right. They rely on experience. Turn to the most experienced news team in broadcast journalism. The CBS Evening News with Dan Rather. Experience you can trust.
What's the most dangerous animal in America?
It came out of nowhere.
The answer could be in your own backyard.
That was a nightmare.
The world's most dangerous animals. CBS Friday.
To demonstrate the uniqueness of a Beauty Rest mattress by Simmons, we're dropping the ball. On the competition, that is. Only Beauty Rest uses individually pocketed coils to help assure you undisturbed sleep, no matter what's rolling around next to you. Beauty Rest by Simmons, the Do Not Disturb mattress.
For the largest selection of Simmons Beauty Rest mattresses in Monterey County, it's Van's Mattress Gallery, family owned and operated. For the best value, service, and low price guarantee, Van's Mattress Gallery, next to Costco in Sand City.
Folks, now you don't have to travel outside Monterey County to buy a new recreational vehicle, because Marina Motors is proud to announce that we are a new factory-authorized Jayco dealer.
We're carrying the full Jayco line, starting with fold-downs from $49.95 all the way up to the 29-foot Designer Series motorhomes.
New models are arriving daily, so stop by today and see how easy it can be to own a quality Jayco RV.
We are Marina Motors on Reservation Road in Marina.
TGI Fridays and Children's Miracle Network invite you to eat, drink, and be merry, as in Christmas. Purchase holiday gift certificates from TGI Fridays in Salinas and receive a complimentary appetizer on your next visit. All proceeds from these certificates help the Children's Miracle Network continue to support local children's health care. So eat, drink, and be merry, as in Christmas. From your friends at TGI Fridays and Children's Miracle Network.
Macarena.
With Bonnie Hunt on the toll-free, here's our pal Mary in River Grove, Illinois. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
I'm fine, Mary. Happy holidays, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Happy holidays.
Now, is River Grove near Chicago from where Bonnie comes from?
Very close.
Oh, good, good.
In fact, Bonnie, hi.
Hi, Mary.
Believe it or not, I'm a voice from your past. And
From
I
my
called not
past.
only to
I
say-
love it. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. What?
I said I'm a voice from your past.
Mm-hmm.
And I called not only to tell you how proud I am, but to ask you if you remember writing something to the effect of, congratulations on your graduation. I will never forget you, or you putting the match out on your tongue, and all the times we spent on your front porch. And I had a very unusual last name that they made a lot of fun of. It started with a C.
Wow, what a setup. Was it a nickname?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sorry, I don't remember. I do remember many girls putting matches out on their tongue in the old neighborhood, though.
If I gave you the last...
Well, yeah, go ahead. You can tell me.
Oh, it's kind of embarrassing on the air, but how about Cock? I had a brother named David.
We'll be right back. Go to bed. Go to bed. Well, Mary, it's so nice to hear from you. Say hello to your parents, Mr. and Mrs. Cock.
It was an abbreviated name.
Oh.
Okay.
It was nice of you to clean it up for us.
Mary, are you pulling our legs here, or?
No, actually, my maiden name was Cockriel. I went to St. Ferdinand's with Bonnie.
St. Ferdinand's, yes, that's where I went to school. And there's a. Were you in my year?
No, I was a year above you, and I knew Carol, your sister.
Mm-hmm.
And
Carol, the funniest kid in the school.
You all were.
She was the funniest.
You all were. And I spent a lot of times on your front porch talking to you.
Well, you know, my mother didn't let me leave the front porch till I was 16.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Anyway, Mary, you have charmed us with your phone call, and I thank you for joining us, and I wish you a very happy holiday season, young lady.
You too.
Merry Christmas, Mary.
Merry Christmas, Mary.
Bonnie.
What a night, huh?
Yeah. She sure she went to the Catholic school.
Yeah, progressive.
Oh, dear.
You know, you've had such success in films. And I've mentioned, well, no, why are you looking at
my mother is going to be very upset. Go ahead.
No, she's not. Have her call me and
Why was she calling about a rooster? Forget it. Go ahead.
Planning Thanksgiving dinner, Mother. Or Christmas dinner, Mother. You've had great success in movies, like Jerry Maguire is a big smash. I loved you in Jumanji. I bought that premise immediately. You know, the kid finds the box.
Oh, that was really
I love
cool.
that picture. I liked you in Beethoven a lot. You were sensational in your premiere that you did with Cruise in Rain Man. Why do you care about this TV thing? Why are you obsessed with this TV sitcom thing? Because it's really an ambition of yours to make a good television program that's a hit.
Yeah, and I feel like I did make 2 really wonderful television programs.
You did.
Not alone, certainly with the help of all my wonderful friends and the people that worked on the shows. The reason I love it so much, Tom, is it's a big part of my childhood. My parents, after dinner, found a way to escape and see people that they can relate to, like The Honeymooners and The Andy Griffith Show and The Mary Tyler Moore Show and All in the Family and all these shows that I was lucky enough to grow up and watch. And I love the art of storytelling. My parents were great storytellers. It was a great joy in our childhood to have my grandparents tell stories about their life. And that's what I look at television as, a gift. It's a time to tell a story. And all I wanted was 20 minutes to tell my story, and I was lucky I was able to do it. And I have been offered a chance to do it again from both the other networks, but I have to get over the injury of the politics that are involved before I bravely go again.
Politics that are involved without getting too inside.
I think, you know, there's a part of television that you need somebody to be a pioneer, somebody who says, I know this is good, I believe in it, we know it's good, it needs time. And, you know, that's how networks are built. I mean, this is how NBC ended up where it is now. They started with Seinfeld. It sat on the shelf for a year. They put it on, critically acclaimed. Nobody's watching it. All of a sudden, people understand the language. They start to think differently. They start to approach television differently. And you have a whole new audience. The network is built up from that. I felt that, you know, I kept thinking for CBS, maybe we could be that show. It was a different language, a different type of thing. But that's in my heart. And I understand that, you know, the network executives aren't thinking from my point of view. But I think that maybe I'll do it again.
Okay.
And who knows? What the heck?
Okay. Now, let me ask you here about working again with Tom Cruise in Jerry Maguire, because you and he worked in that memorable scene where you drop the toothpicks and Hoffman guesses how many. So you and Cruise.
Well, I'll tell you, I was so thrilled to do Rain Man. I couldn't believe I got the job. And it was before I got married, and I knew my marriage was safe because I had already spent my time with Tom and nothing worked out.
Right.
So it's time to move on and accept the facts. So here it is all these years later, and I get this movie, Jerry Maguire, and Tom's starring in it. And it was such a thrill to be back with him again. And you look at how much this man's career has evolved, all the power that he has, all the success that he has, both with his family and professionally, and he's still just a really nice, kind, down-to-earth guy. And what a great movie to be in. I mean, Cameron Crowe spent 3 years on the screenplay, developed every character, had such a passion and a vision, and it was a joy to be a part of it.
And tell me about meeting your husband. This was a blind date, I'm told.
You know, my husband, I met him on a blind date, and he had a hole in his sweater. He had a navy blue wool V-neck sweater on over a white T-shirt. And I remember seeing the hole, and all I could think of the whole time he was talking to me is that I want to get a needle and thread, sew that up. And I loved him. You know, I mean, not like, you know, my heart was pounding through my chest and I had a crush.
Not like the guy in the Santa Claus suit, right?
No, that guy. Well, that's a different kind of affection, you know.
Yes, I know.
For my husband, it was real. And when we got engaged, though, he gave me a ring that went all the way over my finger as a joke. A big Liberace diamond ring. And he he said, I know you like simple things. And he, you know, proposed to me. And he said, but I saw this ring and it had your name written all over it. And it could have had my name written all over it. It's gigantic. Yeah. So I put it on, and Tom, I'm thinking, oh, my God, how can I marry anybody that would give me Liberace's ring? I couldn't bend my finger. He had it made up as a joke. Big cubic zirconia, like 25 stones on it. And anybody who passed the table, we just got engaged, show him the ring. And I'm like, oh
God.
You know, and I have to go to Second City and do the show after this dinner. And I thought, I can't walk into a room full of comics with this ring on. Well, I won't make it out alive. And I go through the whole meal, and he says, do you love it? Do you love it? I said, I love it. Beautiful. And I'm thinking, I got to leave town. I got to change my name. You know, who would buy me this ring? And then finally, we're going out to the car, and he says, do you want the box for the ring? And I said, well, you gave me the box. He goes, well, what's in here? And here was, you know, my little gold band with the little diamond on it. And I said, oh, my God. I said, I hated you instantly that you would buy me this. And then, of course, loved him again because he had the sense of humor to torture me. You know, I grew up that way. You just repeat the pattern.
You felt at home, right?
That's right.
I hope you feel at home here, and I hope you'll come back and see us soon. And my best to your family. Please give your mom a hug for me a week from tomorrow, and have a great Christmas, young lady.
Thanks, Tom. You're the best.
Okay, so
Merry
are you,
Christmas.
kid. Back at you. Bonnie Hunt is the guest. Jerry Maguire is the picture. Back with the real story of General Custer. By the way, you know what kind of a shirt General Custer wore at Little Bighorn?
No, what kind of shirt?
An arrow shirt. We'll be
I need the eggnog.
You know what kind of a collar there was on the shirt?
What?
It was a pointed collar.
Oh,
We'll be
dear.
right back with Michael Blake after these messages.
Look at me, I'm a mime.
Who are you?
The question is, where am I? The critics call Scream the most terrifying movie of the year.
Help me, somebody!
It's clever, hip, and scary.
Yeah?
Wes Craven is in top form.
Motives are incidental.
And Rolling Stone calls it smashingly scary.
Oh my God.
Drew Barrymore gives a tour de force performance that rivals Janet Leigh's in Psycho. It's the scariest movie of the year.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Scream, rated R, starts Friday.
This tree is going to my 82-year-old mother out in California.
A 6-foot golf club with my brother in Detroit.
These are homemade for my friend Duke.
If you can dream it up, we can pack it up and get it there at mailboxes, etc.
Dogs love to get presents.
Sunflowers fragrance from Elizabeth Arden. A celebration of life. Sunflowers holiday bath set, a $51.50 value for just $35.
Tonight, Dave's got crooner Harry Connick Jr. and the legendary Walter Cronkite.
We're getting somewhere.
Tonight on The Late Show.
Getting framed for murder was bad.
You know any great attorneys? My cousin Vinny.
Meeting their lawyer was worse.
You stick out like a sore thumb around here. Yeah, you blend.
Now all he needs is a little sleep, a new look, and a clue.
My biological clock is ticking like this.
Joe Pesci and Academy Award winner Marissa Tomei. My Cousin Vinny, CBS Wednesday.
Folks, now you don't have to travel outside Monterey County to buy a new recreational vehicle because Marina Motors is proud to announce that we are a new factory-authorized Jayco dealer.
We're carrying the full Jayco line, starting with fold downs from $49.95 all the way up to the 29-foot designer series motorhomes.
New models are arriving daily, so stop by today and see how easy it can be to own a quality Jayco RV.
We are Marina Motors on Reservation Road in Marina.
The magic of Disney's new 101 Dalmatians movie swept the land, and McDonald's near and far are celebrating with 4 wonderfully festive snow domes. Each snow dome only $1.99 when you buy any extra value meal or new deluxe sandwich. Now everyone can treasure and share the snow domes, but hurry, for there is one who would have them all for herself. The fun is unleashed at McDonald's, your Dalmatian location.
All through history, the name of Custer has been synonymous with defeat, and a humiliating one at that, at the Battle of Little Bighorn. But when Michael Blake began reading more about Custer, he found a fascinating man who didn't at all mesh with the Custer he'd heard about. He chose to write about the man he came to know, and the story is told in his newest book, which is called Marching to Valhalla. Michael, welcome to our program, and you met General Custer quite by accident, huh?
I did. I met him in a hospital. I mean, I actually met him when I was a kid, because I read these books about Custer and his 7th Cavalry and, you know, the yellow bands on the uniforms. And it all seemed so cool, the bib shirts and flying across the prairie. And I loved that. But when I got to be of, say, college age, I started to kick into all of the, you know, the Great Satan, the symbol of manifest destiny. They've got this strutting peacock, this egomaniac, this idiot.
Slayer of the Native Americans.
Women and children, you know, cut them all up.
Yep.
And I carried that prejudice for about 20 years. But I picked up this book in the hospital called The Custer Reader.
And you were in the hospital because?
I had cancer. Okay. I had a recurrence of cancer, which is like another program practically. But I mean, I'm perfectly happy to talk about it.
But anyway, you're in the hospital.
I'm in the hospital and I'm reading this stuff. And all of a sudden it occurs to me that the prejudices I held about Custer aren't really lining up with what I'm reading about his life. So I just started reading more about him. And the more I read about him, the more I wanted to read. And finally, there was a moment in my studio at night where, to my horror, this little voice in my head says, Michael, you admire this guy, don't you?
You like this guy.
You're liking this guy like almost too much, Michael.
He had a meteoric rise in the military. He was a full general in his 20s, early 20s, huh?
Unreal.
Yeah.
I don't know what you were doing when you were 23. When I was 23, I was going to college and lobbying against the war in Vietnam and so on and so forth. This guy was 23, and he was a captain in the Civil War. He'd got on the staffs of a lot of good generals, and the Union decided they needed an attacking cavalry. So they had Custer, a go-get-'em kind of guy, and a couple of other kids. They promoted them all to brigadier general, and so he said, go lead men. Custer did it. I mean,
in many cases, led men far older than he into battle, huh?
Oh, you know, I mean, by the time he was 24, he's a major general. He's got over 10,000 troops on horseback that he's leading.
At his command, wow.
At his command. Yeah. And asking them to go into mortal combat and risk their lives for him. He's a 24-year-old kid.
But you found out that he wasn't in the back lines pushing them into battle. He was in the front line leading them into battle.
Incredible. Incredible.
And a flamboyant man, flamboyant dresser.
He dressed so uniquely. I mean, all of his life, Custer was a little too exotic for the military. The top brass didn't feel too comfortable with Custer around because he's just a little bit too much of a wild guy.
Yeah, like what kind of stuff did he like to wear?
He wore black velveteen pants and shirt. He had gold loop embroidered all over his sleeves. He had a red tie that he wore. He wore a big slouch hat. He wore these big, shiny black cavalry boots with gold spurs.
But now this does not sound like the uniform of a brigadier general.
Well, when he got promoted, he went to the general and he said, well, you know, in the book he says basically, or actually in the screenplay, he says, do I get a uniform?
Yeah.
And he says, hey, you're a general, you go make your own uniform.
Whatever you want,
Go out and inspire the world.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Custer did. He wanted to, he's a kid, first of all, but he also wanted to inspire people. And that's exactly what he did, because people kind of laughed up their sleeve at him at first. But by the time he had led these guys into battle, the next few weeks, all his troops started wearing red ties. And everybody wanted to serve with Custer because they knew one thing would happen. They might get killed, but they wouldn't get shot in the back.
Now, before the battle at Bighorn, he was called to testify before a committee regarding some irregularities in the military. And as I read your notes, his star is fading at this time. The Civil War is over, and he is not the grand fellow that he was, you know, when he led 10,000 men into battle. And you write that he was a little off balance there. What's going on when Custer is testifying here before Bighorn?
Well, you know, that also is kind of a long story, but what happened to Custer really was when he came west, he didn't have the same success because he's fighting an enemy of the United States that fought on its own terms, on its own turf, and basically fought guerrilla warfare, very much like the Viet Cong.
Exactly.
And
to the Native Americans, the Indians at that time, this was a holy war for them.
Oh, totally. I mean, well, it would have been for anybody, defending their country, defending their families, and so on and so forth. But what happened to him was he didn't get promoted. He was 9 years without a promotion on the day he died. And he also, one of the things he hated about the Army was that they were always leaving people high and dry in terms of supplying people properly. He railed against the Indian agents. He hated the corruption, and he hated the Secretary of War, Stanton, who was crooked as a dog's hind leg. Most everybody in the Grant administration was. And when he was called to testify, he said, okay, I'll go. And his wife said, hey, don't do that. Don't go back there. because she knew what he was going to get into. Well, he went back there, and he shot his mouth off about this. And he alienated the president, and he alienated Sherman and all the top brass. They all turned their backs on him.
Shot himself in the foot, more or less.
Totally shot himself in the foot. The Republican newspapers tore him to pieces. Grant refused to even see him, left him sitting in the White House office, and then went home. And Custer got pulled off the train in Chicago on the way back to North Dakota by Sheridan and was basically relieved of command. Custer wouldn't even have gone to the Little Bighorn if he hadn't written to Grant, sent a telegram to Grant saying, as one soldier to another,
give me my command.
Give me my command. Don't let my command go out there and me not share the risk with them.
More on Custer at Little Bighorn from Michael Blake, whose newest book is called Marching to Valhalla. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, there's a house party at Mickey D's, a doghouse party, to celebrate Disney's new movie, now in theaters, 101 Dalmatians. Listen up. When you buy a delicious new deluxe sandwich, like the Crispy Chicken Deluxe, you can get your paws on a magical Dalmatian snow dome, a cool gift for only $1.99 each. So get shaken, because for 101 Dalmatian snow domes and deluxe sandwiches, there's just one spot, McDonald's.
When is heartburn worst for you?
After a tough day.
After a spicy meal. Or at bedtime, whenever it is. Your worst heartburn calls for Zantac 75. Zantac 75 relieves even your toughest heartburn. And it's so safe, it has no drug interaction warnings. In fact, doctors have prescribed the medicine in Zantac 75 more than all other acid reducers. The smart choice for your worst heartburn. Zantac 75, the final word in heartburn relief.
Lysol spray use number 14, the mold and mildew down under. Use number 99, Junior's first night without a diaper. Lysol disinfectant spray. There's nothing this can't do.
Fifth Avenue, the new fragrance from Elizabeth Arden. The Maglite flashlight, the world's finest, crafted from solid aircraft aluminum, sealed at each end with high-grade rubber O-rings, with an exclusive patented self-cleaning switch and a patented adjustable beam. The Maglite flashlight, American-made, to be brighter, tougher, more dependable. The Maglite is a work of art that works.
A Maglite flashlight is the brilliant gift idea for any occasion.
Because Zale sells more diamonds than any jeweler in the country, we also sell lots of diamond tennis bracelets, like this dazzling 2-carat bracelet for just $4.99. Zales, the diamond and holiday gift store.
A whitening toothpaste with no bleach or harsh abrasives?
It's Aquafresh whitening with a triclean formula.
Not better than my Rembrandt.
Even Rembrandt can't beat Aquafresh whitening. In fact, it's clinically proven to whiten better than Crest. Aquafresh whitening for dazzling whiter teeth.
Folks, now you don't have to travel outside Monterey County to buy a new recreational vehicle, because Marina Motors is proud to announce that we are the new factory-authorized Jayco dealer.
We're carrying the full Jayco line, starting with fold-downs from $49.95 all the way up to the 29-foot designer series motorhomes.
New models are arriving daily, so stop by today and see how easy it can be to own a quality Jayco RV.
We are Marina Motors on Reservation Road in Marina.
With Michael Blake, here is Maynard in East Portland, Maine. Hi, Maynard. Welcome to CBS.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, I was out in Dakota Territory, and I talked to a lot of the elderly's chief fools crow in particular, and his headsman. He was chief of the 7 Teton nations there. And I was told, these are stories passed on from generation to generation, I was told that Custer was not shot or killed in the manner that it was written about, that he wasn't Count Coudon. Every time a Dakota gets an enemy, he counts coup on him, and he was not Count Coudon. I just want to know if he could, the gentleman there did any research to that effect. That's your appreciation. information.
Or if you can translate, because Maynard, I don't know the terms to which you refer. I'm sorry to say.
I think what the caller Maynard is talking about is that everybody that was killed with Custer at the Little Bighorn, 210 men, were all mutilated. This was normal procedure after a battle. Mostly Indian women and children would come out and strip the bodies and then mutilate them. Custer's body was stripped, but he was not mutilated.
So he committed suicide.
I doubt that very seriously.
Because they would not leave a victim. They honored their victims, even Custer, and they would not leave that body not count coup on it, because spiritually you have to count coup in those days, so the spirit could not come back and murder your spirit after you go into the spirit world.
What is the term you use here, which I'm hearing is count coup?
Count coup.
Count coup.
Mm-hmm.
Count coup. It's a spiritual. You know what I mean? It's a spiritual rendering of that spirit. You have defeated him spiritually, and you cannot. Sometimes they take a finger or something like that.
All right.
Sometimes they take a finger. Sometimes they take a head. Sometimes they take a scalp.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be just touching you with a stick. If you're a live enemy, in fact, if you're a live enemy and you touch a live enemy and escape, that's about as good as you can do. But my personal feeling is, and a lot of people would argue with this, I think Custer was recognized by somebody. The Indian people that day didn't know who they were fighting, but there were people there that knew Custer, and I believe that someone recognized him. I think otherwise he would have been mangled up like everybody else.
Okay, Maynard, I'm glad you called. A very interesting historical point, and thank you for sharing it with us. Was his did he make any big tactical mistakes there? Like he would divide his forces, or was it simply the fact that the Indians wanted victory in a way so different from the victory sought by his troops that he could not have prevailed? Just as I don't think we could have prevailed against the Viet Cong because they wanted Vietnam more than we wished for it.
Exactly. I think that you hit it right on the head. Indian people were defending their homes. They were defending a way of life. Plus, they were mad. You know, they'd been deceived by a duplicitous government for so many years. They'd been harassed by soldiers for so many years. And they were united that day at the Little Bighorn in a way they never were before, nor do I believe they have been since. And Custer didn't make any tactical errors, in my view. I think what happened was that the soldiers ran into a tsunami of spiritual power.
Tidal wave, right?
That would have overwhelmed anybody. The Indians would have whipped anybody that came after them that day.
And I'm told that at book signings you like to dress up as the general.
Well, I don't actually do that because that's a different sort of act. No, I'm just kidding. What I did on the tour was I wanted to make literature.
And I'm really down to time, so I need a quick
Okay, I made literature and history come alive. I wore some of the clothes, no wigs, no mustaches, and did 15 minutes from the book.
I hope the book becomes a great motion picture, as happened with Dances with Wolves, and I thank you for joining us tonight, Michael.
You're welcome.
My pleasure, sir. Michael Blake is the guest. His newest book, The Story of Custer, is called Marching to Valhalla. Back after these messages.
Step back, please. Any more metal, sir?
For all things Harley-Davidson, see a Harley-Davidson genuine dealer.
There's a rare edition hitting the streets, rich in added features, and available at a price that's very good news. The Accord Special Edition. A car this uncommon is definitely front page stuff.
CBS, welcome home.
there goes the 937 through Color Teenyville, huh? Welcome back, folks. I'm TS. The simulcast is on the air now for Thursday night, December the 19th, 1996, from CBS TV and radio here in Southern California. Merv Griffin is on this program tonight, and Tom Lydon is here. This is a former skinhead who has now found non-racism a better road to travel. I'm glad Merv is here tonight. He'll talk about his New Year's Eve program, which for the first time in many years will be on one of the major networks this year instead of in syndication. He was here last year, and I watched his show. It's a terrific New Year's treat, coming live from Atlantic City at 1 o'clock in the morning, the first live TV show of 1997 with the dear boy, as Harry Treacher, or Arthur Treacher used to say, the dear boy, Merv himself. And I'm happy that Merv is here. You know, Merv was on with Larry King last night, and I'm glad he's here tonight so the people will have a chance to see him. Those that giveth getteth, the